Hello everyone, today I will talk about the functional features and applications of the Islamic Azan watch. The Islamic Azan watch is an electronic device that assists Muslims in their daily prayer. This watch provides an accurate display and reminder of the prayer time, and can point to the Qibla direction as an electronic product. It is highly favored by Islamic users. The watch on my left is a manual version of the Azan watch that was on the market more than 10 years ago. Its function is prayer time display and alarm. It indicates the Qibla direction that I just talked about. The feature of this device is that it has hundreds of built-in devices, from the earliest few hundred to now thousands of cities stored inside, mainly storing longitude and latitude data of cities. In the time zone, as these parameters are necessary for calculating our prayer times. As we all know, the prayer times is calculated according to a series of parameters such as latitude and longitude and time zone of the user's place according to an astronomical calculation formula. So, this is also a big limitation. What kind of limitation? Does this manual version of the product really pinpoint the latitude and longitude of the user's place? Because there are too many cities on our planet, whether you store hundreds or thousands of cities, it is far from enough to meet the needs of our global users. For example, I am currently in Shaoqing, Putian, Yuyu, or a remote rural small city, even country lanes. When users use it and try to find their own city, what should he do when he can't find his own city from this watch? So he was confused and didn't know what to do. This is the first shortcoming. Isn't there anything else wrong with the inability to pinpoint the location? No. What about the second one? It is the prayer calculation method. The calculation of the prayer time is based on the longitude, latitude, and length of the object's shadow under the sun on the earth where our users are located, calculated according to an astronomical formula. Although the calculation formula is the same, there is a parameter or factor that is set differently for each Muslim organization or school and fashion. Therefore, many of our users are confused when choosing a pilgrimage setting. They can't choose their own fashion or school. For example, I'm a Sunni believer. The Sunni jurisprudential tradition is represented by four main schools of thought: the Hanafi, Maliki, Shafi, and Hanbali schools. These four schools were all formed between the 5th and 6th century, each having its own legal principles, but also sharing a common foundation. The calculation method is different in Singapore, the United States, in Saudi Arabia, and others. So this is very limited when using this watch, but it had been in service for more than 10 years and there is currently no way to change the status quo. Because it uses a very weak processor chip, the text and content displayed are just that simple. We can't modify its functionality as well as improve its performance. Its function is not that strong. With the advancement of modern technology and the popularity of smartphones such as Android and iOS system, many electronic products can be extended and improved in terms of functionality and performance through apps. We users have gradually become accustomed to this way of use. The smart Islamic Azan watch have emerged. The Azan watch on my right is the smart Azan watch we are going to explain today. It has a powerful built-in processor that can accurately calculate the user's daily worship time. Its feature is that it only needs to connect to the app once and has built-in ultra-low power Bluetooth. The smart Azan watch can automatically calculate the time of worship every day. As long as we connect to our app once, it can obtain the longitude and latitude of our user's location. It also contains the algorithm setting we mentioned above. Whether you are in Shaoqing, Putian, Yuyu, Heilongjiang, or a remote small city on Earth, longitude and latitude can be obtained and accurately calculated, and you can also choose setting options. The fashion organization you believe in. Now let's start talking about how to connect this watch to our app. Let me demonstrate first. Just to declare, this watch only requires users to connect the app once after purchasing it. It doesn't need an app anymore in the future. The app has only one function, which is to obtain its longitude, latitude, and settings. After obtaining the longitude and latitude, this watch will always remember the longitude, latitude, and settings, and it will be permanently remembered. Even if you replace the battery in the future, it will not lose its memory of longitude, latitude, and settings. Let me start by talking about the use of our app. The app is very simple to use. We first scan and download QR code with our smartphone. After scanning the QR code of the app and installing it, you can run the app on your phone. Run this app. After running the app, it has already been connected once, so it will be stored on the interface of our app. Then we have one more step, which is to make sure to turn on the Bluetooth on the phone or watch. We press and hold the button in the upper left corner for 3 seconds. When we press and hold for 3 seconds, the Bluetooth symbol will appear and flash, indicating that it is waiting to connect. If it is constantly on, it indicates that it had been connected to a certain phone. After connecting to a certain phone, it cannot connect to another phone, and the other phone cannot scan it. If it doesn't light up, it means its Bluetooth is turned off. When we need to use the app, we must long press the button in the upper left corner to turn on Bluetooth. The Bluetooth icon on the watch display screen is already flashing. He is waiting to connect. We have this. I have already connected last time, so I won't demonstrate how to scan here. Scanning is done by clicking on the icon below. Scan is to click on the button icon below, click on this icon to scan, and we will now start connecting directly. Clicking once immediately synchronizes all data, and this action has actually completed a lot of settings. The first is to transfer the longitude, latitude, time zone, and other information of our user's location on our mobile phones to the smart watches, which have been permanently stored. Another way is to provide us with the time and date on our mobile phones. For example, we are at 9:47 p.m. Synchronize all the time and date onto our watch, including our alarm display and alarm settings. There's also the algorithm for the time of prayer. Let's talk about prayer times. There are 2 very important parameters here. An algorithm for determining the time of prayer. The prayer time algorithm has different algorithms for different countries and organizations. For example, we are in China, so the choice is the Muslim World League. If we were in the United States, we would choose the North American Islamic Association. If we were in Egypt, then we choose the Egyptian General Authority for Survey. If we were in Southeast Asia, speaking of Southeast Asia, such as Indonesia, you should choose Kementerian Agama Republik Indonesia. Then return to the main page. Then there is an Asr algorithm. The Asr algorithm is: the Sunni jurisprudential tradition is represented by 4 main schools of thought. There are only 2 options inside. Another key point to discuss is alarm clock setting. Because setting the alarm on our app is more convenient than manually setting it. Setting an alarm through an app is much simpler. When setting an alarm through an app on our phone, we can choose between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Monday to Friday alarms, and no alarms on Saturdays and Sundays. This is a very flexible option. We have already set up the app, then we have easily completed these complex operations. After setting up, exit the app's main page. After exiting, the functionality of our app ends here. If the user does not make any further changes, they can simply remove the app and no longer use it. Now let's talk about the basic function of this watch. Most people who has on watches have 3 buttons. And now we are talking about the 4-button operation method. The button in the upper left corner, as I mentioned earlier, has 2 functions. The first one is to turn on the backlight, and the second one is to turn on and off Bluetooth. This one is the mode key, which only switches between functions. The top right corner is the start button, and the bottom right corner is the reset button. Let's first try the function keys, the first one of which is the date display. It displays the second date, Hijri. What we are displaying now is Monday, June 28, 1446, according to the Hijri. This is the Hijri. The second one is the daily alarm. We are currently using the second set of alarms, which means it is the second set, the third set, and the first set. The first set is turned on. You see, the symbol for the alarm clock is different. It means that the alarm clock is on. And if so, it means the alarm clock is off. We can also long press the start button to enter the manual setting of the alarm. The third function is a stopwatch. Indicates operation. Pause operation. Pause. And in the bottom right corner is reset button. Reset the stopwatch time value to 0. And the next step is the compass. The compass always points north, and no matter how we rotate horizontally, it points in the direction of true north. We need to talk about it here because it contains a geomagnetic sensor. The geomagnetic sensor may malfunction due to external strong magnetic interference. So what should we do if it leads to an accurate pointing to the north? If we find any abnormal phenomena, we may press and hold the start button for 5 seconds under the compass interface. Long press the button in the upper right corner to enter the geomagnetic calibration interface. The geomagnetic calibration process involves a slow horizontal rotation of the circles. Slowly rotate horizontally twice. They have been calibrated. The scale on the bezel of the watch points always pointing towards the north. The next step is the auto Qibla direction, which is directed towards the holy city of Mecca. The scale on the bezel of the watch points in the direction of Mecca. This is Tasbih Counter or zikr. What is the functions of Tasbih Counter? Because in Islamic culture, the 5 important lessons are Tasbih, prayer, Ramadan, Zakat, Hajj, and Tasbih is the important thing for Muslim believers. It's just like reciting Buddha's beads in our Buddhism. He need do this homework every day. As the Tasbih Counter, it likes the zikr ring. You can also press this button to count. He is also known as Subha, Masbaha, Misbaha. You continue to press this button. Generally, Azan, it is necessary to recite beads at least 33 times a day. For example, dialing 99 times represents the 99 honorific name of Allah. You can also press and hold this button to reset it to 0. The following is the age in months. Because the Islamic calendar is purely lunar, it has a great correlation with the phases of the moon. The maximum monthly age is 30, ranging from 1 to 30. After the age in months, there are 6 daily prayer times for today. The 5:57 am is the Fajr, and this 7:04 am is the sunrise, and this is the door. At 12:26 noon, and so on, it will be displayed as the Asr, the Maghrib, and the Isha. The 8:06 displayed on this main boundary page indicates that we are currently 8 hours and 5 minutes away from the next prayer time. We are currently at 9:53 p.m., so the time until the next prayer ceremony tomorrow morning is 8 hours and 5 minutes. We can also long press the start button to enter the manual setting of the time and date. So the content displayed is concise and easy to operate. The operation is very convenient, and there is no need to operate multi-level menus or repeat them inside. It is very simple. And its power consumption is very low, and its cost is also very low. Because using ordinary and inexpensive T and LCD can achieve the display of complex content. The cost is lower than that one. Technology changes the world, and the birth of the smart pilgrimage watch is revolutionary. I hope you will understand and like this product. Thank you everyone.